the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight we cap off season number 11 here with the American Sim Motor Racing. Hauck designs a Cup Series, 14 drivers taking to the starting grid. It all comes down to three of your drivers chasing after the championship trophy here tonight. Multiple race wins this season, so they know where the front is at. Let's see who can get the job done here tonight. Already the premier racingsetup.com qualifying session behind us as we get set to head to the starting grid. Drivers are going to begin to lock in to try to chase after that championship trophy. Few other points battles out there. We'll get to some of that real quick. What do you say we get rid of that track information? 108-degree track temperature. That's going to throw these drivers for a little bit of a loop. See if they can't keep this variable banking underneath them. And put on a show here tonight. Point standings coming into tonight's race that you can see here. Top 3 championship contenders: Christian Abate, Alex Wiggins, and Derek Moore. Just 10 points separate those 3 drivers. It isn't a win the race and you're in. It isn't a finish better than your fellow drivers. It's all about the points. It all comes down to tonight. Who will get it done? Wesley Johnson going to bring us to the green flag, snatching the pole position. Daniel Jensen, Zach Miller, close little battle there for 4th and 5th. You can take a look at Jeffrey Engel and Dave Gage. They're embroiled in a battle as well. I mean, a lot to go on, a lot to finish out. Season number 11. It looks like a lot of these drivers already making their way to the starting grid. So what do you say we get a little closer to pit road? But before we bring you tonight's action, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, that's the most important thing. How you doing here tonight? Glad you could all join us once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Cup Series. It's been 12 weeks of racing, and it all culminates here tonight. We will finish championship night under the lights. 125 laps to find out who's gonna raise the crown. Man, that's a tough one. Christian Abate, Alex Wiggins, Derek Moore. That is a trio that is tough to pick from. I don't want to play any favorites just yet, and I can't cheat later on, so it's going to be kind of tough. We don't want to jinx anybody. Really, the only way I would know to do it properly is just tell you if I'm right or wrong. I'm an honest person. Everybody that knows me knows that, and unfortunately that gets me in trouble sometimes, but that's a whole nother story. We're going to see which one of these drivers can keep themselves out of trouble and what could lend its hand in a long green flag run. At least 3 pit stops to get to the end of tonight's race. Will the pit road police pop anybody and possibly affect the championship outcome? We're going to find out as word from above comes down. The boss man in the flag stand going to give them the go-ahead, and we will get set to roll here tonight. As you hear the music in the background, you know those familiar sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting a lineup. The snatching the Premier Racing Setup.com pole award for the first time this season. Inside row number 1, bringing us to the green flag, the 59 of Wesley Johnson, championship contender. In that 16, lines up to his outside. Derek Moore starts from 2nd. Look no further than 3rd to find another championship hopeful, Christian Abate. Nick Burlow to his outside. Jensen and Miller going to make up row 3. Alex Wiggins back in 7th with Nicholas Wing just to his outside. Dylan Schultz, Cody Schultz rounds out your top 10 with Convo and Doping. Back in row 6, Dave Gage, Jeffrey Engel going to go at it from the back. That's going to finish off your starting lineup as we roll off a 4 and on the gas. Green flag flies for the first time here at Homestead. A little bit of a voice crack there, like reset the timeline, take me back. Whew. Lordy Lord. We're not going to get caught up in that. Nobody's going to get caught up in the fence just yet. Everybody clean and clear so far. More going to snatch the race lead. Lap number 1. New race leader here at Homestead. Top 7 holding serve, only movement in the front of this field. Derek Moore going to take control of the race lead. Purple People Leader eating them up on the high side. I believe that's going to be that 38 of Zach Miller. Yes, it is. Miller hunting the front and running that high side. Whipping the lip. A little early for the Larson line, as now you see the 59 of Wesley Johnson go to the high side in 3 and 4. A few fellow drivers going to test their luck. Everybody single file heading their way to the front of the field, and looky, it's the Barbie Mobile. Alex Wiggins looking pretty in pink here tonight. Thing's gonna shine bright like a diamond under the lights, I can tell you that much. We'll see if he can buy a dream house down here in Miami tonight after winning a championship. Alex Wiggins needs a little bit more to get to the front. Sitting in 8th right now is lap number 4 going to go on the board. We're going to drop the timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Back at the front, single file for the moment. Christian Abate able to work his way to the inside of Wesley Johnson, pick up that second position. So now your top 2 duking it out in the championship standings, duking it out right here early at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll take a little look up here at the front as things heat up. Two-way battle as Moore and Abate go side by side through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Then we head to 3. From the high side to the low side, they're going to swap spots on the racetrack. Looks like Abate going to head to the top side for a moment as Johnson digs in on the inside of the racetrack, still chasing after Derek Moore, who has been quick, able to keep the field behind him for the moment, snatching that race lead on lap number 1. Not a lot of movement after that. Everybody pretty much holding serve. Biggest mover of the night, surprise, surprise, knocking on the door of a top 5. Here he is to the inside of that number 24 machine, Dylan Schultz. We're not even going to attempt to call out whatever that sponsor may be. That's one of those ain't even gonna attempt it. The Panini number 4 sponsored machine of Daniel Jensen sitting in the 6th position, dropping 1 spot from the start of tonight's race. Still very early in this run, still very early in this race, but we have still got these drivers going side by side, front of the field, more bottom of the racetrack, trying to hold off the run from Abate at the top. Got to be able to shut the door off of turn number 2. They'll drag race down into 3. Help on the high side with Christian, but it doesn't look like it's going to pay off just yet. And there it is. There's that pass on the outside. Momentum coming for the 45. Can the 16 shut the door on the 59 of Johnson? 51 of Nick Burlow. Right here, front of the field. For some reason, listed as the 24, but we won't hold it against him. Everybody trying to be like Wayne. Ooh, and I don't know if everybody meant to follow Derek to the top side of the racetrack, but big moment there. Burlow having to check up. Schultz going to run all over his rear deck. Let's take a little look here. Gonna jump around a little bit, try to find some action out there on the speedway for you. And problems there for Derek Moore. He's going to lose 2 positions all the way back now to 3rd. Christian Abate working his way by the 45, settles in at the front of the field. Pole sitter still looking to get back and lead a lap here tonight. He's going to stick it to the high side as the fight is still underway. Let's take a look at this little bit of a scrum going down. 4 drivers involved in this one. Daniel Jensen, Dylan Schultz, Zach Miller, Nick Burlow. Interesting to see these drivers searching around on the racetrack so early in this run. We're only 12 laps into this run, but we have seen the 6 from the bottom of the racetrack to the top. We've seen that 38 of Zach Miller at the top side of the racetrack. We've seen him at the bottom, now back at the top side through 3 and 4. Big run off of 4 down the front stretch. They're going to close in quickly on the tail end of Daniel Jensen. And there he is, Alex Wiggins making a little bit of moves. Somebody got to get up there and involved to try to win that Rookie Treehouse. I wonder if he's gonna. He can't get the Malibu part, right? It's got to be. Ooh, close off of 4. Alex Wiggins chops the nose of the 51. Man, that was close. It was close. I'm just saying, return of the favor. Burlow, no problem. Ooh, and contact at a 2. Little bit of a kerfuffle in the background with the Barbie Mobile, piloted by Alex Wiggins, championship hopeful and contender. Meyer deep in traffic, hasn't really been able to make up a ton of positions or a ton of time so far here. Struggling a little bit in the dirty air. We're going to see if he can't somehow just shake off the funk and work his way through this field. Crossover look now by Burlow inside of the racetrack. Gonna easily take the position, slide up the racetrack, and something different here at Homestead Miami Speedway. You can kind of run up the racetrack. It's called variable. Oh my goodness. Variable banking. Banking different as you variable progressive banking. The banking levels increase as you go up the racetrack, but they do it at a specific increment so that it's almost the same no matter where you're at. You still get that advantage. A little bit more turn at the top side of the racetrack, but the front and back stretches also 3 degrees of banking. So it goes all the way from 3 degrees up to 20 degrees through these corners. So you can enter the corner a little lower, lean on the racetrack as you wash it up out of the corner exit. Got to be careful you don't overcook that right front doing it. I don't know. We'll see. Drivers begin to run the fence as we are just around the corner from 20 laps into tonight's race, and we have got a changing of the guard at the front. Christian Abate gonna head to the back. Wesley Johnson gonna reclaim the race lead for the first time here tonight. Your pole sitter able to lead a lap. Johnson gonna lead Derek Moore. Daniel Jensen up here spoiling the championship party. That Panini number 4 has worked his way into a podium position as Christian Abate drops back to 4th. Zach Miller now runs into solid 5th position. About 1 second gap back is Miller, so a little bit of time to make up, but a bit of a battle going on there. There you can see that 3-4 car battle going on involving Miller, Schultz, Burlow, and Wiggins. So a small battle at the front, a small battle right around that top 5 position. We're going to continue to jump back and forth, bring you all the action that we can here tonight. Let's get a little closer to the field. What do you say we watch them around the track here tonight as they work their way out of 2? Lights and sounds from around the track here tonight at Homestead, Miami Speedway. You're watching Championship Night with the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Cup Series. Season number 11 gonna come to a close here tonight. And we're gonna close out racing under the sun. Things gonna heat up under the lights here tonight. We're gonna crown a champion just about 100 laps away from doing so. We've been clean and green for your open 24 laps. When will these drivers hit pit road? We're expecting them somewhere around that lap 35 to lap 40 for a green flag fuel run. So pit stops just around the corner as well. A lot on the line here tonight. Let's head back to the front because we have got your Championship 3 all lined up on the racetrack. There you can see Derek Moore and Christian Abonti and lurking in the background. He's stolen the keys from Gin and Alex, trying to walk away and win the championship trophy here tonight in that pretty in pink Barbie Camaro. I don't think I've said pretty in pink Barbie Camaro ever before tonight, so tip the cap to you, sir. Challenge accepted. Bravo. Meanwhile, we'll jump back up here to the front of the racetrack because here it is, 2 championship non-contenders, but a points battle on the line. Daniel Jensen trying to make up a little bit of ground, maybe walk away with a 4th place finish in the overall point standings, but more importantly, looking to get to victory lane for the first time here tonight. Your front 2 have not visited victory lane, lined up behind them. 3 previous race winners not in the field here tonight. Want to give them a big shout out. We've got a bit of a long green flag run here, so why not get off track like I typically do? The Cali kid, Doug Argabright, not in the field here tonight. Championship hopeful and contender had a few mishaps throughout the season, unable to make it here tonight, but we do want to keep Doug in our thoughts and in our well wishes, not for anything wrong or anything going bad. The young man's getting married here very shortly, so Doug, if you're out there, if you're listening, if you're watching, Congratulations once again. It will be a moment that you'll remember for a lifetime. From myself and the rest of the crew here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, we wish both you and your fiance a happy, healthy, love-filled future. We hope to see you back at the racetrack soon, but you got grown man business to handle. Congratulations. We'll see you soon. Alright, we got a little off-track stuff. The way. We ain't got to worry about that. We may have to worry about a few sponsors a little bit later on throughout tonight's race, but for the moment, keeping all the fans in the stands on their feet, and all of you out there watching, tuned in to the YouTube channel. Great racing action for your top 3 positions. Small gaps starting to develop as we work our way back around that 5th, 6th, 7th position. The Schultz boys running 7th and 8th for the moment. Cody leading Dylan with Jake Dofing right behind him. 3 Fords lined up. Let's take a little look around the racetrack. What happened to Miller? Miller went way to the rear of the field. Andrew McConville, quiet night for McConville. Started in the 11th position, gave up 2 spots at the drop of the green flag. Has just now been able to reclaim and regain those spots and into the 11th position. As Zach Miller continues to fall through this field, down 6 positions from where he started, from 6 to 12 to 38, going the wrong way. Meanwhile, right here, the Schultz boys going to go at it, 5th and 6th. Who's going to get the job done? Do you punt your... You can... I don't know. I'd probably move them out the way. I'm just saying. That's just me, though. Well, the Schultz on a strategy. They're going to head down to pit lane this time around, so green flag pit stops open up. What did we say? Right around that lap 35 mark. We're at lap 33. First drivers on to pit lane. Daniel Jensen, new race leader. Derek Moore back in 2nd. Wesley Johnson moves to 3rd. Abati and Wiggins 4th and 5th. And I'm not sure it's enough for Derek Moore right now. I'm not sure. Finishing in 2nd with Abati back in 4th. I'm not sure that's enough for the points. Because both Abati and Moore have led laps here tonight. So those points kind of wash themselves out. I don't think that 2-position differential is going to be enough for Moore to secure that championship trophy. So Christian doing exactly what he's got to do. Pretty much finish inside of the top 5, and you can lock this thing on up here tonight, barring your championship competitor winning the race. Right? You have to kind of mirror what he's doing. Try to lead just as many laps, if not more. Just to try to minimize those bonus points gained throughout the course of the evening here tonight. But with Daniel Jensen out front, walking the dog for the moment. Biggest race lead we've seen of the night. Man, somebody flipped the switch on the lights, and this 4 took off like a rocket ship. 1.3 second advantage over Derek Moore. Championship hopeful sitting in 2nd with Wesley Johnson. Your PremierRacingSetup.com Pole Award winner now sitting in that 3rd position, long way back. And you'll find Alex Wiggins Working over Christian Abati, and what has happened to that 45? Oh my. Falling from grace at the moment. Christian gonna fall all the way from running for the race lead back to 5th, but it is a long night, race fans. Again, a very long night of racing. Still over 80 laps of racing. I believe it's 80 laps, right? Yeah, still at least 80 laps of racing remaining here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. So a lot can go on, a lot can happen. Gonna be interesting to see when the rest of these drivers begin to eyeball pit road, if there's a big gap in the strategy. We've already worked our way into about a 6-lap different strategy for Cody and Dylan on the rest of the field. Nicholas winged to pit road just about 3 to 4 laps ago. For the moment, field begins to settle in. This is your closest battle on the racetrack right here. We'll go back to that second and third position. Derek Moore trying to close in on your race leader, but he's going to have to shake off Wesley Johnson. Unable to do so far, with the Chevy leading a Ford, followed by a Toyota. How about that? 3 different manufacturers in your top 3. Well done. More working the high side. As what has happened to Christian Abati? Oh my goodness. Now heading to pit road, the 45, struggling towards the end of this green flag run. We'll see if everything looks to be okay as he hits the pit box. Derek Moore has been glued more so to that top side of the racetrack, forcing the drivers to that inside lane. And it is not working for that 59 for the moment. Spoil the show or not, Daniel Jensen says, bye boys, I'm getting this race win. 2.6 second advantage now over this field. Is starting to look like a Panini sponsored race here tonight, as both Jensen and Moore are going to head to pit lane. That's going to hand the race lead back over into the hands of Wesley Johnson, and we got trouble on the track. Looks like trouble on the track. We're going to take a little look. Let's see if we can't see what went down, what happened here. Let's go check the replay. Oh, and contact between the 24 and the 13. That's going to be significant contact for both of those drivers, so they will definitely be heading to pit road as we get back live with your race leader. Pit road will open this time around. We'll see if we have any takers. With green flag pit stops just underway, I believe you'll see everybody head to pit road. And that's what we were about to mention. This very well may benefit that 4 and that 16. Able to get fuel and tires. Their fellow competitors are now going to head to pit road, so they very well may inherit the race lead. This is going to get interesting here. And we're trying to check with the race officials here to see if what we're thinking and what we're seeing is gonna hold true. It does look like Daniel Jensen will reclaim the race lead, with Derek Moore right behind him. So the caution coming out right during the green flag pit stop did not affect the 4 or the 16. It did, however, catch that 6 in 45. One lap down, they're going to have to take a wave around. Both of those drivers came to pit road back at lap number 32 and lap number 40. So Christian just on the backside of being able to keep himself on the lead lap and having to take a wave around. That's going to put him well at the rear of the field. And now with... he came into tonight's race as your points leader, just 8 points ahead of Alex Wiggins. Right now, Abati gonna restart, gonna line up back into 10th position. Wiggins up there in 4th. I'm not a statistician. Statistical, never, you know what, we're gonna stop before it goes the wrong direction. Anyways, pretty sure that might be enough to put the championship trophy in the hands of that pretty and pink Barbie mobile. Being piloted by Alex Wiggins, he's got championship contender in front of him on the front row. Pace car in. Gas smash, green flag flies once again here from Homestead. Drivers going at it at the front, trying to keep our eye at the rear of the field, see if that 45 begins to make some headway. There you can see him bottom of the racetrack, trying to make up some spots. Even now with that 38 of Zach Miller for the moment. Is Jensen able to keep the front of the field? Derek Moore all over him for the moment, though, man. I'm telling you, that is some close racing. We appreciate the camera work, guys. Thank you for getting us up close and personal here at the front of this field as the drivers work their way back across the start-finish line. Lap number 49 goes on the board. Things starting to fan out just a little bit with Nick Burlow making some headway on the high side. And as we cross the line this time around, we're going to drop the timing and scoring back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Lap number 50 on the board, just about 12 laps away from the halfway point. So these drivers definitely putting in the work here tonight and putting in quite a bit of work. Is Christian Abati now up to 8th. Derek Moore shot of a cannon back to the front of the field. Side-by-side battle now for second. Nick Burlow showing some strength under the lights tonight. Here at Homestead, Miami Speedway. The 51 going to go to the high side. Yes, we called him the 51. You can see it over there on the timing and scoring. For some reason, felt like plastering a 24 on the side of that machine, but we'll forgive him for that. That mistake is what it is. We roll on here tonight. Top three starting to open up in gap. Back to Alex Wiggins running in that fourth position. Andrew McConville now up to fifth. Dave Gage, how about the run so far here tonight for Dave Gage? That 404 Harley Davidson sponsored machine has been needing a little bit of help in the consistency column. It's been a little bit of an up and down season for the Florida native. So can he possibly pull off a podium here tonight and get his best finish of the season, the final race of the season? We're going to continue to watch it all as two championship hopefuls back here, fifth and seventh for the moment. That's not going to be enough. But this is the guy you got to watch. This is the guy you got to worry about right now as we are closer and closer to that halfway point. Derek Moore came into tonight's race just 10 points back. He's 6 positions in front of Christian Abati. He is leading this race. That could be enough to do it. Will the Holiday Bourbon sponsored Ford Mustang have to put it in victory lane? Could it come down to a must-win situation anyway for these championship hopefuls? We know what we're hoping for. We know what we're hoping to give you, viewers out there tonight, and that's some great racing action so far. This American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series, a slew of drivers have provided action-packed racing. This is the drop of the green flag, things stretching out just as we got to that round of green flag pit stops. With some contact and a caution, that's going to reset the field. At the front, championship contender. He's got a battle on his hands now down to the bottom of the racetrack. Nick Burlow looks for the race lead for the first time. Slide job at a Ford. New race leader as we cross the line. Nick Burlow goes to the point. Abati unable to get around Dave Gage for the moment as Wiggins stays stuck in fifth. Way up the racetrack goes Burlow. That's going to open up the door on the inside for both Moore and Jensen. Andrew McConville started in the back, moving to the front, up 7 positions. That 10 machine now runs in fourth. Stacked up at the front, 3 wide, staggered through. 3 and 4, they'll sort it out at the end of it. Nick Burlow remains at the front of the field, side by side battle for a moment as we go into 1. Daniel Jensen on the bottom, Derek Moore digging at the top with McConville in tow. Still battling for that race lead, still holding it down at the top side of the racetrack. Nick Burlow flexing his muscles as we are just 3 laps away from the halfway point. At least 2 more pit stops scheduled here tonight. One caution so far. We stayed clean and green since the drop of the restart flag and dropping some positions. Christian Abate heading backwards. He could have fallen back to 9th. Not seeing any contacts with the outside wall, anything like that. Just a little bit of a moment there. And momentum key when you've got a swarm of drivers all over your rear deck lid. Moore says if I can't beat him, I'm going to join him. He's going to head to the top side of the racetrack, running the tire tracks of that 51 of Nick Burlow. Man, seeing the 24 on it long enough, you start to mess up yourself. Daniel Jensen digging on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to pick up a position here. Great little move to dive it down into the corner. He's going to try it again. I don't think he's going to be close enough to pull off that same pass. It's going to be close. Not quite enough. Not quite enough. Will he pull it off right here? He's going to head down into turn number 1, pack it in on the bottom of the racetrack. Way at the top is Burlow, keeping it wound up, keeping that momentum going, but it will work for the 4. Here comes the crossover. Now Burlow going to look to work the inside of the racetrack and quickly work his way back to the point down on the bottom. Easily gonna happen, but it looks like we're gonna have crossover city here. Not gonna attempt it. The 4 gonna stay in line for the moment. That's gonna whoa up the 16. Alex Wiggins now coming back into the picture. So a lot going on, man. A little loose off of 2. And that's all it's going to take. Just a little bit of a wiggle. Just enough to give an advantage to one driver or the other. It looked like Jensen may secure that race lead, but no. Hard work pays off when you're running the fence here tonight. Nick Burlow, the only one taking him out and hanging him on the dash right now. Just setting him up there. Everybody else running that inside to mid lane. Not Burlow. A little bit of a touch on that outside wall. That's not what you want. That's going to slow that momentum down. And there it is. Jensen going to claim the race lead. Now a battle with Derek Moore to his inside. Alex Wiggins into the picture onto the bottom of the racetrack. Wesley Johnson still a factor. Man, these guys are making me work here today. In this season finale. Championship night under the lights here at Homestead Miami Speedway. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. Ooh, little bit of a Magic Man moment, and that could have been disastrous. Alex Wiggins with a little bit of blinky blink, making drivers have to thinking. We all know drivers don't like thinking. There's one thing we like to do, and that's go fast. We don't like to really think about much else. So what could have been a huge moment for 2 out of your 3 championship hopefuls Disaster avoided. Calamity averted. And we're going to stay green flag racing here in front of the field. Battle now belongs to Derek Moore and Wesley Johnson. They're going to fight it out for second for the moment. Daniel Jensen starting to break away. And remember, this is about the time we've seen this Ford really start to shine under that first long green flag run. Grabbed the race lead about 20 laps or so into the green flag run. And then started stretching his legs. Then started to open up that race lead. Had it to just about 2.6 seconds. So a 2.5 second race lead, gave it up to come to pit road. So the long run pace, the long run speed is there for the Panini sponsored Chevy at the front of this field. Looks like a beehive, a hornet's nest right back behind him. We're going to keep the cameras glued right here to where the action's at. Wesley Johnson now going to try his hand at the top side of the racetrack. Looks like a little bit of trouble for Burlow as he has yet another scrape of that outside wall. Closing in on just 50 laps to go here tonight under the lights at Homestead, Miami Speedway. These drivers have continued to mix things up. There you can see championship hopefuls. They're not pulling punches. They're throwing bows out there. Ooh. Christian Abati having trouble. This is the battle for the points lead. This is the battle for the championship trophy. So there's a race within a race here tonight. It's not about just who wins the race here tonight. It's about who wins the Season 11 championship. And for the moment, I think this is going to come down to a very interesting tiebreaker. Derek Moore just 2 points back of Alex Wiggins. He's 1 point in front. I think that's going to be enough to put them even in the point standings. They both led laps here tonight. And so everything even on that point in that winners column. They've both been to victory lane 2 times this season. So talk about a Tony Stewart type winning championship win, man. This thing could come down to some crucial stats. Could you imagine? Could you imagine season 11 ending on like a who got the most top 5s? Who got the most top 10s? That'd be crazy. What we said Daniel Jensen would do is exactly what we said he had done is exactly what he did again. No Britney Spears here tonight. We got a Barbie mobile though, but Daniel Jensen of the Panini sponsored number 4 already opening up that race lead over a 1 second advantage. Back to the 59 of Wesley Johnson, who's starting to open things up just a little bit here on Derek Moore. Alex Wiggins holding down that 4th position, trying to hold on to his championship hopes as well. But as these laps begin to dwindle away, you gotta ask yourself if one of these drivers is close enough for contact. Do you put the bumper to a championship contender to try to walk away with a trophy? What do you do? I know what I do. That's a whole nother story. Green flag pit stop window beginning to open up for this field. There you can see Dylan Schultz being passed. He came to pit road back on lap number 61. So giving up a little bit of ground, a little bit of time to go ahead and get the fuel early. We are 20 laps past that mark, so interesting to see whether or not that fuel strategy is going to pan out for Dylan. Cody Schultz now onto pit road in the pit box, left side up, down and away, and Cody's going to rejoin the racetrack. Jensen still with a 1 second advantage. Wesley Johnson able to walk away from the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Moore, Wiggins, and Burlow now going to be where the action is. Final spot on the podium up for grabs. You can see Burlow packing it into the corner, and Derek Moore shot away from the challengers behind him. Interesting to see there. Just a nice little 3 and 4. That's all it takes. Derek Moore going to open up that gap now. Going to be able to focus a little more about what's out front. Looks like we've got drivers to pit road. Alex Wiggins, Christian Abate, both to pit lane this time around. Nick Burlow into that outside wall once again. And that's the one thing about running the fence, is you always flirt with the possibility of laying the right side of the car on the fence. It can handle it a handful of times, but too many times can be too many times. But it looks like Burlow may pay a little bit of a price for that as he slows the roll a little bit. Derek Moore going to head to pit lane this time around. Out and away goes Wiggins and Christian Abate. So we stand corrected. This may be just a 2-stop race from here on out. We're doing the math, and it looks like these drivers, if they can stretch this thing, 40 laps from now would be enough to get them to the end, and that's what it's going to be, pulling the trigger to pit road. Daniel Jensen going to come to pit lane this time around. That's going to pull Nick Burlow. Wesley Johnson stays out. Re-inherits the race lead once again. Your premier racing setup.com pole award winner going to claim the top spot here tonight from Miami. Early pit stop working out for Dylan Schultz. He's going to work his way into that third position now, just onto the lead lap. You can see him just out front of your race leader. But he will have to come to pit road in about 13 to 14 laps. He is not going to have enough to get to the end. Dylan may be playing the banking on a caution strategy. He's going to have to wait it on out and see if Johnson comes to pit road, or when Johnson comes to pit road, and then hope for the caution flag to fly, so you're banking on a lot going your way. And I've never been one to depend on the luck, but hey, you never know. An amazing pit stop for Alex Wiggins and his crew. 43.2 second stop on pit lane that time around, and that will be your fastest pit stop of the night. Not only will it be the fastest pit stop of the night, but it's going to be enough to get him in front of Daniel Jensen, battling now with that Panini number 4 for what will eventually become the race lead. Mind you, Wesley still has to hit pit road. Andrew McConville's still going to have to pit road. Dylan Schultz in third. He's going to have to hit pit road one more time. So there you can see both Jensen, Wiggins, as well as Cody Schultz just now getting themselves back on the lead lap. This will become the battle for the race lead when this green flag pit cycle flips itself on out. And well, the strategy not panning out for Dylan Schultz. He's going to drop a handful of positions already as Daniel Jensen going the right way, walking away from Alex Wiggins and Derek Moore for the moment. That is your championship battle between Wiggins and Moore. If Wiggins can finish in front of Derek Moore, even if it is for this third, fourth, fifth position, that's going to be enough to secure the championship trophy for him in retrospect to Moore. But it's all about where Christian Abate finishes as well. Remember, there was an 8-point deficit, an 8-point deficit that Wiggins was going to have to erase. So that's going to be the next step in this championship battle, as we are just around the corner from that lap 100 threshold with 25 to go. Got ourselves about 33, 34 laps to go this time by. But I think that's really going to tell the tale of how this championship truly unfolds. Where does Christian Abate finish in relation to Moore and Wiggins? For the moment, Derek Moore battling with Daniel Jensen on the high side, gonna take the spot away that will become the race lead this time around. So it may take that race winning performance and Derek Moore trying to pull it off. Things continue to be tight here at the front of the field. Derek Moore in position for a race win, but more importantly, in position for a championship winning performance, with Christian Abate battling his way back into the 5th position. Will that be close enough to bring the trophy home to that 45? If he can get to 4th, will that be enough? Will he have to finish on a podium if Moore wins? There's a lot to unfold, a lot to unpack. Whew. These drivers, man, they giving you something tonight. Lap number 98 going to go on the board. Derek Moore at the front of this field, continuing to lead here tonight. Then you can see Andrew McConville, much fresher tires, working the high side of the racetrack. Look for that 10 to try to work around your top 2. We're dealing with Daniel Jensen for the moment, but how much of a fight does he need to put up? Or is he hearing word? Christian Abate able to get around Alex Wiggins and pick up yet another position. The championship hopeful leading here tonight. 2 championship contenders back in 4th and 5th. Man, this is going to be a crazy finish. Down to 25 to go this time around. Top 2 have broken away from the field, but Christian Abate able to pick up yet another position and move his way into 3rd. That may very well seal the deal. And how heartbreaking could it possibly be to run at the front of the field, battle for the race win, battle for the race lead, walk away with the checkered flag, but come up just a handful of points short in the championship battle? A lot on the line for Derek Moore right now. Christian Abate still battling with Cody Schultz for that 3rd and 4th position. So let's take a look back here at this battle, as it does have championship implications. Alex Wiggins falling to the wayside. A little bit of damage on the right front of that Barbie Mobile. The 11 fading as the laps fade here tonight off of the scoring pylon. close quarters there. My goodness, Wesley Johnson. I'm heading to the front. Moving on, coming through. Christian Abati with more trouble. Things just keep flipping lap after lap. Man, things are going one direction, then back the other. Christian Abati gonna now drop back to sixth. That is just what Derek Moore wants. That is just what the doctor ordered for the championship hopes of that 16. But now losing the position to Daniel Jensen. Man, there's so many different battles going on, a lot of different action to try to keep track of here tonight. Live from Homestead Miami Speedway, you're watching the championship night for the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Cup Series. Derek Moore trying to power back, trying to reclaim that top spot once again. Wesley Johnson starting to reel in your top two. It very well may be a three-car battle at the end of this. Wiggins and Abati still going at it. 5th and 7th on the racetrack. And Alex looks like a little bit of trouble. Out of the corner exit of turn number 2, he will drop a little bit of time. Christian Abati, he's got to find some speed. He's got to find an extra gear. He's got to pick up 2 to 3 positions here with just 16 laps to go. Daniel Jensen out front. Derek Moore sitting in second with Wesley Johnson hot on his trail, looking to the high side. The 59 wants yet another position, wants to get back to the front, finish off where he started from. Johnson moves to second. He found some speed. He found his way back to second. Can he pick up one more position and walk away with the race win here tonight? Will a 3-spot difference be enough to pick more up that championship trophy? Or will Christian Abati somehow find a way to bring this thing home at the end? closing in lap after lap is Johnson, but that 4 of Jensen has been quick. He has been one of the dominant cars really here tonight. One of the only drivers to open up a sizable advantage, a sizable race lead with a round of green flag pit stops and that caution that kind of brought a damper on the day for that Panini number 4, but he has been able to, and we got more beating and banging. We got drivers out here mixing it up. Wing and Doving throwing blows down the backstretch. It's going to make things interesting in front of your race leaders. Up to the high side goes the 59. Jensen pounds it in at the bottom. Able to work his way up and around down the backstretch. Put Johnson back to the race lead. We'll see 10 to go this time by. Things still not sorted out at the front for the race lead, battling hard on the inside of the racetrack. Daniel Jensen not giving up on that first race win. Will it be here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway? He's going to close right back in on the tail end of Wesley Johnson. Time is running out for the race lead. Time is running out for your championship hopefuls with 7 to go. Derek Moore sits in third. He is your highest running championship contender. Christian Abati back in sixth. Alex Wiggins behind him in seventh to make that 3 seconds back. So no battle between Wiggins and Abati. It's going to come down to if Moore can maybe pick up one more position, or can Christian possibly find a way to walk away fifth and pick up just enough points to secure that championship trophy. Man, there's a lot of racing here that remains for your top 2 drivers. There is lap traffic, but now with Wesley well and clear of that lap traffic, a 0.4 of a second advantage over Jensen. The Panini number 4 is going to have one hell of a run to get to him. I believe that's going to leave Moore finishing no better than third here tonight. He is able to get around the lap machine of Dylan Schultz. Will it leave him enough time, man? 5 laps he's going to pick up about 1.5 seconds. I think it could be done, but it's going to be a tough task and a tall ask for Derek Moore to pick off one of those top two. He's going to need a little bit of help from some chaos out of these guys coming to the end of tonight's race, but it looks like we're going to finish this thing off under green flag conditions. Only one caution flag so far here tonight. The championship night for the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Cup Series. Season number 11 is coming to a close. We will crown a champion with less than 5 miles of racing action remaining. And Johnson running the 13 way up the track, the 24 into the 4. Oh my, popsicle sticks on display. No caution flag, but I am sure race officials not going to be too happy about that. Contact as the 59 ran the 13 into that outside wall. Looked like the 24 put the bumper to the 4 of Daniel Jensen. That's going to move Derek Moore into second. Could this be a controversial championship finish? It very well might be, because the white flag will fly. Final lap here tonight from Homestead, Miami Speedway. And a great night of racing, finishing off with a bit of controversy. Oh my. That's going to do it. Out of 4 for the final time, and across the line, race winner for the first time this season. At the end of it all, Wesley Johnson will pick up the checkered flag here tonight from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Little bit of, we'll call it shenanigans at the end. But nonetheless, picking up the race win behind the wheel of that 59 machine. Wesley Johnson will walk away as your winner here tonight. And as he brings the machine to a slow crawl, gets ready to burn it down for all the fans in the stands. We're going to get ready to step away for your post. To get your post-race show settled. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's championship race, live from Homestead, Miami Speedway. What a night of racing. What a night we had. What a finish. Maybe a little bit of controversy there at the end, but nonetheless, we're going to reel it in here tonight, and we're going to step over and see if we can't have a few words with the driver that walked away with a podium position here tonight. Driver walking away with the second spot. Still waiting to see if it's enough for that championship trophy. But let's see if we can't grab a few words with championship hopefuls. Finishing second here tonight, Derek. Hell of a run. Just about a race-winning performance. Walk us through your race. What went through your mind, and do you think it was enough to get it at the end?
Well, first off, congrats to Christian. I think he ended up winning the championship. He ran a great season all season. And then congrats to Wesley on his maiden win in here. Yeah, this track has never been my best. I think I ran my best tonight out of every previous race I've done here. I just didn't have the long run speed. I thought I was taking care of my tires, and apparently it wasn't enough. I felt good on the short runs. You know, I could kind of place my car wherever. But then, yeah, Wesley just, he waited like 10, 12 laps to pit, and I thought for sure we were gonna net way out in front of him. And then I looked down, and he's gaining on us like half a second a lap. And there was just nothing I could do at that point. My tires were shot, and he could run the high side. I didn't get enough practice on the high side and just couldn't do it. But, you know, I'm happy with the second. I had fun this race. A lot of side-by-side action. I tried to be as much of a pain in the butt as I could as far as people passing me, and I think I accomplished that. So I feel bad for Jensen. Dan had the car all race. It was going to be tough for him to get back around Wesley, but he had the long run speed that I don't think anybody else had. And I was kind of sitting there in third rooting for him. I don't think well, maybe he has one. I don't know if he's won outside of a restricted plate race, so I was really rooting for him. He had a great run tonight, so I feel bad for him getting caught up in some lap traffic stuff. But overall, I had fun, and I'm proud of my effort tonight.
Well, man, I'm sure the fans back home, I'm sure all the fellow competitors could be, well, maybe your competitors aren't proud of what you were able to accomplish this year. It might be a little salty, but, you know, who cares about that, right? You know. But anyways, now, hell of a season for you. We're still awaiting word to see if it was actually you or Christian. I know it's going to come down very, very close, so we wish you the best on that side of things. Hell of a season for you, wrapping it up with the second place. Before we let you go for the final time, shout-outs, thank yous, love yous.
Just shout out to my teammates. Andy got top 10. He hasn't done very many races this season. Christian, he struggled here. But like I said, I think he won the championship, so good job to him. Thank you for broadcasting. Thanks to all the admins for putting these seasons on. It's always a good time. Bit of a weird one this time around, some switching cars and stuff, but I think everyone had fun. And just, thanks to my wife for letting me do this every Wednesday night. And just want to thank all the competitors out there. I think we had a good time.
Well, again, Derek, congratulations on a great season. Nothing to hang your head about. And we look forward to catching up with you next season, whether it be up here in the booth or maybe putting you in the wall myself. Just kidding on that, but it could happen. So don't be surprised. But either way it goes, man, congratulations on a great run this season. Stay safe, and of course, keep it fast. All right, there you go. Final few words for the man that walks away second, and he very well may come up just shy in the points. And it looks like Derek Moore will finish the second overall. And we're going to take a quick moment, a quick stroll over to victory lane. Let's pull in and have a few words with your race winner behind the wheel of that 59 machine. Wesley is Dave. You got a copy?
What's up, man?
Well, hey, man, same old thing for me. How you feeling down there in Victory Lane for the first time this season?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I felt like there's the couple races I was in, I could have had an opportunity to win, but I kind of made some mistakes and errors and all that. And then last week, my teammate, he short circuited in his brain a little bit and got me. Uh, so I wasn't too happy with him, but I managed to do what I could here, and it worked out.
Well, man, you showed some lightning quick speed on that long run, that final run of the night. Coming down to about 15 to go, did you think you had enough speed in the car to run down those guys at the front and work your way past?
I did, because my right front hadn't yet gone away on me yet, and I was using it all I could to get up there. So I found out, like, in the first and second run, like the initial start, I burned off my right front like immediately trying to get to the lead and hold it, and I just fell back. And then the second run, I saved a little bit too much, and the 16 was a real pain to get around. And just getting around him made me burn off what I saved. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to go long this time. These guys are pitting early, and I'm just going to do the overcut and see if it works. And sure enough, it did. I wasn't too sure. Coming back out on pit road, I was like 10 seconds back. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Well, it all panned out. It all worked out for you in the end. You're going to bring home your first win here with the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Cup Series. So congratulations on that milestone as well. Going to be many more in the future. I'd say there's going to be yeah. Anyway, we're not going to get caught up in all of that, but a hell of a performance when you do hit the track. You got the job done here tonight. Before we let you go and celebrate this win, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
I would, but before that, I'd like to apologize to the 45 yet again. Last week I wrecked him, and then this week when I tried to shoot under him on fresh tires, I net coated into him and shot him up the track, and I was just like, oh my god, like I don't want to make him mad at me, but it's not helping. But I'd like to thank Nick Wing for getting me in this league, and my sponsor, We're Gonna Lose, the best troll on YouTube for any kind of reaction on any video game. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations on this milestone win for you, getting that monkey off your back at the season finish, maybe to pick off where you left off when we kick things off in season number 11. But until then, my friend, as always, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you have it from the Victory Lane final time. From Victory Lane here in season number 11, Wesley Johnson going to pick up his first and only win on the season. And oh my God, we're going to choke and die over here. That's pretty much going to do it for us. That's going to be a wrap. We're going to cut off the lights, roll up the cords for one final time as season number 11 does officially come to a close. And with producers hitting those buttons, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results live from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Walking away with the checkered flag in hand, first win of the year for that 59 machine, Wesley Johnson. Get a sit in the winner's circle. Derek Moore, championship contender, did all he could, but came up one position short. Derek finishes second here tonight, walks away second in the point standings as well. Daniel Jensen gonna pilot that Panini number 4 home to a third place finish, with Nick Burlow coming home in fifth place tonight to Cody Schultz. Christian Abati, the 45, had a handful of moments, had some issues and problems, but was able to finish in 6th, securing the season 11 championship trophy. Shout out to your season champion. Had a little bit of other media obligations to fill. We can't fault him for that. Hats off to your Season 11 champion behind the wheel of that 45 machine, Christian Abati. Dave Gage going to finish 7th here tonight. The 11 of Alex Wiggins going to fall short in that championship run. Walk away 8th here tonight from Homestead with Dylan Schultz in 9th and Andrew McConville rounding out your top 10. 38 machine of Zach Miller gonna walk away in 11th, while 12th goes home to Jeffrey Engel. Nicholas Wing gonna pick up 13th with the number 13 machine of Jake Dofing, finishing out the 14 car field. That's gonna do it for us. That's gonna be all for tonight's championship action. Man, there's nothing to move forward to except season number 12. So with that being said, I hope you've all enjoyed the run. It's been over 10 seasons with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs crew. Couldn't have picked or found a better group of people to work with, a better group of drivers to commentate for. Season after season, I've watched drivers grow. I've watched them develop. I've watched champions be created. There's been a lot over the few years. So with that being said, at the moment, for the final time, we're going to put the cover over top of the mic. And we will be stepping away. We'll wait to see what the off-season brings us. But for myself, David the Cave, and everybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing Network, it's been one hell of a ride. Salute to all of you fans out there. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and drop them a thumbs up. Click subscribe. And remember, of course, to smash that bell. Stay safe. Stay loved, my friends. And we'll meet you in Turn 3.